Find us on Instagram at Civic Center TV. Get notified when we upload one of our interviews, full episodes, and more. Thank you for watching and listening to Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.
Hey, Michigan, let's think beyond the sink and learn where the water your family drinks every day comes from. Private wells and public water supplies allow homes across Michigan to draw water from different sources, like lakes, rivers, and groundwater. Tap into the facts about your home's water source and learn about your home's water quality to protect your family's health.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut, the one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink, or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking, now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed, better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead, catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Bringing you stories and memories from Kego Harbor. Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
Tyler Keefe with Civic Center TV, welcoming you into our live coverage of the 2025 Oakland County State of the County on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. Oakland County Executive David Coulter set to begin his speech in just a few minutes right here in our community. He's doing that live at the Berman Center for the Performing Arts in West Bloomfield Township, and we'll have his entire speech here live on our TV radio station and on our social media as well. There's a lot that he's going to get into in tonight's speech. What we do know is coming in the 2025 State of the County is information on the continued partnership between Oakland County and Automation Alley on what they call Project Diamond. That has to go into technology and industry going forward, and how do we continue to bolster that through partnerships here in Oakland County. Another key issue that's been on Executive Coulter's docket and something he has spoken about at each of his states of the county so far during his tenure has been Oakland 80. That's an initiative that's ongoing on the education front, a goal of 80% of our population having post-secondary education by the year 2030. What sort of progress has been made on that in recent years? We know that in the last couple of years, that number has reached over 60%, so we're well on the way there, but how much progress has it made in the last 365 days? What are the projections going forward, and how is that programming impacting people here in Greater West Bloomfield and our neighboring communities in Oakland County? In addition, housing going to be part of the executive's discussion tonight as well. We know here in Greater West Bloomfield, housing has been on the docket for a number of our communities, with West Bloomfield and Kego Harbor working on their master plan revisions here in 2025, focusing on affordable housing and starter houses for families to move into our community and to support our community going forward. And we know the economic times that we're in, that housing is going to continue to be an issue that affects all communities in Michigan, and including our communities here in Oakland County and in Greater West Bloomfield. Plus plenty more. There'll be stories also, I would imagine, throughout this speech, as in past years, with videos and testimonials of some of your neighbors from here in Oakland County and around the surrounding areas that have been impacted by these programs through our county, as recounted by Oakland County Executive David Coulter. So his speech is going to begin here in just a few minutes. We'll have the entirety of that speech for you live on Civic Center TV, live on the radio on 89.3 Lakes FM, as well as on our social media pages, so you can watch it back if you have to skip out for a little bit during the speech. We'll have that live and on demand for you as well. So stick around. Our coverage will continue. We'll have extended coverage after the fact of the State of the County for 2025 on both Thursdays and Friday's editions of the Splash Live on Comcast Channel 15, AT&T Channel 99, of course, on the radio and across our social media, Facebook at Civic Center TV 15, YouTube, X, and Instagram at Civic Center TV. Stay tuned. The Oakland County State of the County for 2025 will begin in just a few minutes.
I use public transportation almost every day.
We take public transportation here to the senior center to volunteer.
When you say, I don't need a bus, I have a car, what about your neighbor? What about your family member? What about your mother, your grandmother? How are they getting to medical appointments? Who's helping them?
For more information, go to oakgov.com/Oakland Transit.
Wow, looking good. Thanks. Just powered up to a Real ID. Power up? So future me has X-ray vision. More like future you can fly to all 50 states, DC, and the U.S. territories. Wait, you can fly? Sure. I'm Real ID compliant. Means now I can fly to Florida for the NASA launch today, then to Utah for the stargazing trip. Sounds good. Have fun. I'll just hang here.
Be your Real ID self by May 7th, 2025. Visit tsa.gov/Real ID or your local DMV.
Policing is an excellent career. We all have a role and responsibility to provide public safety. Here in the MSP, we have a great and wonderful opportunity. As a trooper, everybody starts in the patrol car. But after a couple of years, we have a dive team. We have an emergency support team. We have troopers that are flying helicopters. You can move over into our forensic science division where you're working in the labs. We have detective sergeants, detective troopers. We just provide so many opportunities. And I tell troopers all the time, you will never get bored working for the MSP. It's important that we are engaged in our communities. We have to listen to what they want, and we adapt to make sure that we are providing excellent service. Policing is a very rewarding career. It has been for me for 25 years. I would not have picked another profession because I've enjoyed it.
Hey, Michigan, let's think beyond the sink and learn where the water your family drinks every day comes from. Private wells and public water supplies allow homes across Michigan to draw water from different sources, like lakes, rivers, and groundwater. Tap into the facts about your home's water source and learn about your home's water quality to protect your family's health.
Hi, I'm Lauren Azuri, the Park Naturalist Supervisor for West Bloomfield Parks. Congratulations to you, Civic Center TV, for hitting 1 million views on YouTube. We really appreciate your partnership in spreading nature education in a creative way in our community. I'm Lauren Azuri, proud to be 1 in a million.
Bringing you stories and memories from West Bloomfield. Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
Please welcome Deputy County Executive Madiha Tariq.
evening. Can you guys hear me? Good evening. On behalf of Oakland County, it is my pleasure to welcome you to our beautiful county and West Bloomfield Township. Before we begin, I would like, on behalf of our leadership and we would like to wish you all a Ramadan Kareem. May this month bring you all joy and peace. For those of you who are fasting today, we have 2 rooms set aside for prayer and iftar treats. And our iftar treats are assembled by a small woman-owned business named Gather and Grace from Rochester, right here in Oakland County. So when it's time for iftar, please see the volunteers in the lobby and they will guide you. And now, it is my pleasure to introduce to you our MC for the evening, West Bloomfield Township Supervisor, Jonathan Warshay.
Good evening. Welcome to all of you for this year's State of the County. The choice of this building by my friend and County Executive Dave Coulter for his State of the County speech is especially meaningful to me, as I was a camp counselor at the JCC many years ago, and the WB is my home. I've known Dave for a long time, probably more than we wish to admit. I lived in Ferndale before West Bloomfield. Dave was my neighbor, having built a house just 3 doors down. He was my county commissioner, and I was his city council person. We both have a strong belief in public service and fostering relationships in our community. Dave's term as mayor began after I moved to West Bloomfield. He created the Mayor's Business Council in 2012, helping to lead Ferndale to a period of increased business and economic growth. This was excellent preparation for his role as county executive. A strong business climate is vital for our county, and a strong Oakland County helps drive Michigan's growth. Before we get to introductions, I'd like to acknowledge and thank the Jewish Community Center's CEO, Brian Siegel, for allowing us to be here tonight for Dave's 6th annual State of the County speech. Next, I'd like to introduce the Board of Commissioners. Chairman Dave Woodward. Vice Chair Marcia Gershenson. Majority Caucus Chair Angela Powell. Minority Chair Michael Spiz. And Commissioners Penny Lubes. Welcome. Ann Erickson Galt. Brendan Johnson. Mike Gingell. Bob Hoffman. Karen Joliot. West Bloomfield's Kristen Nelson. Christine Long. Philip Weipert. Robert Smiley. Gwen Markham. William Miller. Yolanda Smith Charles. Linny Taylor. and Charlie Cavell.
Good to see you, man. What's up?
And our countywide elected officials, Prosecutor Karen McDonald, Clerk and Register of Deeds, Lisa Brown, I should say she's also from West Bloomfield, Treasurer Robert Wittenberg.
Thank you, sir. Good to see you.
Nice to see you. Water Resources Commissioner Jim Nash.
Good to see you.
And Sheriff Michael Bouchard. And finally, thanks so much to my fellow West Bloomfield board members for hosting the speech tonight. Clerk Debbie Binder, Treasurer Terry Weingarten, and Trustees Diane Rosenfeld-Swimmer, Jim Manna, Vincent Kirkwood, and Mike Patton. And I'd be remiss if I also didn't recognize the love of my life, my wife, Renelle Greer. She knew the job was dangerous when she took it. I also want to recognize our Police Chief, Dale Young, and our Fire Chief, Greg Flynn. Now please stand, if you're able, for our national anthem and welcome Lily Novetsky.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Thank you, Lily. That was beautiful. And now to learn a little bit more about Oakland County, please enjoy this video.
Small businesses, or our 2,600 manufacturers that make Oakland County so distinctive. It's the people. It's our family, friends, and neighbors. It's the people who work behind the scenes who set us apart. The people who make sure Oakland County is prepared for emergencies. The people who transport our veterans to where they need to go. The people who embrace our newest citizens from all around the world and our welcoming communities. It's our manufacturers and businesses who introduce high school students to their future careers and then help them build their dreams into realities. It's innovators who create communities for our neurodivergent population to ensure housing for some of our most vulnerable citizens. It's a history celebrated and new friends we make at events like Juneteenth and Pride. Oakland County is an economic powerhouse where we choose confidence in uncertain times and where we choose love over hate. Oakland County, our leadership, our communities, our families. Oakland County is, in all ways, moving forward.
Please welcome our Oakland County Executive, David Coulter.
Are you kidding me? That was amazing. Well done. Good evening, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for coming and joining me this evening. It would have been really bad if I was here by myself. And I also want to say, for those of you who are observing the holy month, Ramadan Mubarak to you. So let me start like this. I don't know about you, but to me, the stakes in our country have never seemed higher, and our emotional response to it even higher. Across the nation, some are encouraged by the direction we're headed, while others, myself included, are deeply concerned. And far too many have grown disillusioned by feeling powerless to make a difference in a political and an economic system that too often feels broken. But you are here, and that tells me that this group of 650 people are not disengaged. You might be pleased or you might be troubled, but you're not tuned out. You're invested in Oakland County. You want to know what we're doing because you believe it is relevant to your life, and for that, I am very grateful. Because I need you to believe in the future of Oakland County. And more importantly, I need you to be a part of it. So I'm a student of history, and I know the course of our country is paved with eras of tremendous disruption. Disruption can bring progress. It has propelled us forward through technological evolutions from the printing press to the internet, and through economic transformations that have shaped our industries and our communities. And in each of these times, people felt unease, yet they persevered with new ways of thinking and creating, collectively pressing this great American experiment forward. The current, let's call it turmoil in our country, comes on top of a period of tremendous economic and societal disruption caused by COVID. In Oakland County, we haven't shied away from these challenges. In fact, we've leaned into them. We've stretched beyond the normal role of county government because that is what the times demanded of us. This is, by the way, an optimistic speech, all right? Let me be clear. I am excited about the future and your part in it. So during this transformation, and of COVID, let's start with that. We launched Project Diamond, some of you know that, to equip our small businesses with 3D printers, helping them adapt and thrive. That's why we set our ambitious goals like Oakland 80. That's why we are aggressively pursuing the next generation of automotive, engineering, and manufacturing. We're riding this wave of disruption to a brighter future for Oakland County. But let me be very clear. I reject the disruption that we see in the Trump administration because, quite frankly, too often it's just simply destruction. When I became county executive, I was determined to do so much more than just maintain the status quo. Of course, I wanted to change things from the previous administration, but you can have change without chaos. You can lift people. You can lift people up without tearing people down. And you can speak with clarity and strength without being mean and derogatory. So for tonight, this one night that you've chosen to give your time to Oakland County to hear about our present and our future, let me tell you a story of a county government that can work for the people it serves. Where problems are addressed with thoughtful solutions. And yes, where the diversity of our residents is seen as a strength. Where one person is not lifted above another person, but where all are welcome and provided an opportunity to create their own experience and exceptional future in this special place that we call home. Oakland County is in a stronger position today than it was 10 years ago, and we've gotten here without drama, destruction, and division. You've heard me say this before, but I like to run through these numbers. We are Michigan's economic engine, 22% of the state's GDP. We have 720,000 workers employed here, with more than 400,000 who commute here from other areas. We have the lowest unemployment rate in the state. We are an international magnet for foreign investment, with 830 companies from 34 countries around the world doing business here in Oakland County. We have the highest per capita income in the state. We're ranked 14th nationally among counties with at least 1 million residents. And in fact, we account for a full 40% of the research and development that takes place in Michigan. Those are all amazing statistics. But at the same time, we're addressing the intractable problems, investing in the future, and removing the burdens that hold so many of our residents back. And as you will see this evening, this didn't just happen because we maintained the status quo or took a reactive posture. We created a strategic plan. I've talked about that in the past. We were proactive and we relied on our core principles, empowering people, putting progress over partisanship, and delivering a government that protects the tax dollar and works for the residents and businesses it serves. Now, I know that these are values that aren't just mine, but that I share with my colleagues in public office. I am really pleased to welcome our countywide officials, the members of the judicial branch, and of course our Board of Commissioners this evening. You heard them, you saw them before. Karen McDonald, our prosecutor. Lisa Brown, our Clerk and Register of Deeds. Our longtime sheriff, I said that just because you made fun of me, Sheriff. Our longtime sheriff, Mike Bouchard. Our treasurer, Robert Wittenberg. And our Water Resources Commissioner, Jim Nash. I know, yeah. Thank you for all you do for our county. We're also joined by the Chief of the Circuit Court, Judge Jeffrey Mattis. Yeah. Chief of the Probate Court, Judge Jennifer Callahan. And the Chief of the 52nd District Court, Judge Travis Reeds. Thank you for being here this evening. And importantly, the Board of Commissioners. I'll move over here. You saw them earlier, our Chair Dave Woodward and our Minority Leader Mike Spiz, and all of the members of the board. I want to thank you for being full partners in governing. I'm also really happy to welcome and thank my executive leadership team and the 5,000 person strong workforce of Oakland County. They provide outstanding service to our residents every single day. Let's give them a big round of applause. I'm also grateful that my regional partners have joined us tonight. So I want you to help me welcome Macomb County Executive Mark Hackle. Wayne County Executive Warren Evans. Oh, Mark, I can't take you anywhere, dude. And the great mayor of the city of Detroit, Mike Duggan. I've said it before, but we're so much stronger when we work together as a team for the good of our region and our state. And then finally, several of our state and federal leaders are here, and that includes Congresswoman Debbie Dingell. Our Secretary of State, Jocelyn Benson. And many members of our Lansing delegation are also here. So thank you all for your friendship, your service, and your support. Thank you. So this past year, our government family unfortunately suffered a terrible tragedy with the loss of Sheriff's Deputy Bradley Reckling, who was killed in the line of duty. Deputy Reckling was described by all who knew him as a great cop, but an even better friend, a loving husband, and a fun-loving father of four. There really are no words that can truly explain such a loss or ease the pain felt by those who loved him, but we can join together in remembrance, in gratitude for his service, and in support of his family and colleagues who continue to heal. Please join me in a moment of silence. Thank you. So I'll go back over here to my commissioners, because as executive, I understand that the legislative branch holds the powers of the purse strings. It's important. Love you guys. Look, I've never been a guy that was my way or the highway. By working together with our Board of Commissioners, we've improved our fiscal policies and maintained Oakland County's sterling reputation for fiscal responsibility. We've updated our rainy day policy to preserve it for true emergencies or strategic investments. And we've maintained a low tax rate that protects the hard-earned money of our taxpayers. Wall Street's key indicator that we're worthy of investment, our AAA bond rating, not only saves us money over the long term and signals to companies looking to invest that we're best in class, but as I've also said, it's the foundation that allows us to invest in the things that make our county great. And when we need to make large investments, we ask the taxpayers first, so our actions reflect their priorities. They spoke very clearly on the need for a county-wide public transit system. Because of them, today we've created an on-demand service in every part of our county and regular fixed route service to our job centers in Novi and Rochester Hills. Just a few stats to consider about the impact of expanded transit. Ridership in West Oakland County has increased 60%. Yeah. And the new local service in Novi has seen a 76% increase in ridership. SMART, together with our local transit providers, have added more than 400 new drivers since the millage passed. And our Veterans Ride Free program has provided more than 7,000 rides in less than a year for our military veterans and their caregivers. I'm pretty sure we have some veterans here tonight in the audience, so can we give them a great round of applause, please? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And just last year, voters spoke clearly on the value of our countywide park system. The investment by our county residents will allow us to preserve land for future generations, to make the capital improvements necessary to revitalize our vast network of parks and trails, and improve recreational opportunities in all parts of our county. But we're also transforming how we serve people. And I want to give you a couple of examples from two very different areas, economic development and health and human services. Someone from economic development, I love it. So you'll know this story. When I took office, the county's one-stop shop model of reaching our entrepreneurs meant that they had to make a trip to the county complex to get information about business opportunities. I mean, who has time for that? Not our business owners that often have small staff and limited time and resources. In fact, only about 400 people each year took advantage of those services. I was confident that we could serve more of our small businesses by going to them instead of making them come to us. So in 2022, we launched Business Forward, embedding 9 consultants in communities throughout the county. They provided individual coaching and workshops on everything from financial plans to social media strategy, right on their doorsteps, not just on our county campus. The program has since evolved into the nonprofit Oakland Thrive and has grown from the original 9 consultants to add 75 contractors who are also business owners and experts who are working now with our small businesses. And since we started this new approach just 2 years ago, we've connected with more than 15,000 small businesses. Yeah, you heard that right, more than 15,000 small businesses. And one of those businesses, Moon Reflections Photography in Farmington Hills, owned by Sacred Overstreet Amos and her husband Supreme Amos, got help from Oakland Thrive at a time when all small businesses were struggling to recover from the pandemic. Sacred told us that Oakland Thrive provided communications and marketing expertise and is helping redesign their website. It also delivered the networking opportunities that helped them grow their clientele. She said that such services have been invaluable, especially for her small family and veteran-owned business that typically doesn't have access to that kind of help. The second innovative approach is in our Health and Human Services Department with the launch of Oakland Connects, which takes our Health 360 program to an even more accessible level for our residents. So the program is all about taking a holistic approach when people come to see us with health problems. Their medical issues might be connected to housing or food insecurity or stress caused by financial hardships. Regardless of what door they enter for help, whether it's our housing department or public health clinics or our veteran services department, our Oakland Connects community health care team can assess the situation and make sure that they get all the help they need. This could be paying a utility bill or getting transportation, food or clothing, or securing temporary housing, or even a referral to our workforce development department where they can get assistance in finding a job. The Oakland Connects initiative dovetails very nicely, by the way, with our new integrated care clinic in Pontiac. This clinic is providing critical physical and, importantly, mental health care to people who are unsure of where to turn or who have concerns about their ability to pay. Specialists are on site to ensure that real-time assessment and referral on a full range of needed services happens for every client. This clinic also provides an important resource for our first responders, because they encounter people every day in crisis and in need of immediate care, and they can take them there. So, yeah, All right. And since the soft launch of the program last year, the clinic has already provided care for more than 1,600 Oakland County residents. And at this time, I want to acknowledge the tremendous boost given to this project by Roger Penske and the Penske Family Foundation. You know, maybe it's his background in racing, but Roger doesn't wait around for a project to come to him. If he has an idea, he puts the pedal to the metal and pursues it. And importantly for us, if you bring him a good idea, he's all in. In fact, this is the second time that Roger has stepped up for Oakland County. The first was during COVID, when he responded to a generic email with an offer to allow us to use his warehouse for our emergency response. And now, his foundation is providing the gap funding, which is helping to turn a soft launch into a fully operational clinic. Would you please join me in thanking Roger? Oakland Thrive, Oakland Connects. Both of these are ways that we make sure that public service is just that, service to the public. Because if you can't find it, or you don't know who to call, or you can't afford it, it's really not much of a service, right? So we've created these programs, and we've been pretty creative with the names of some of them, right? We talked about it, Oakland 80 and Project Diamond, which, by the way, stands for Distributed Independent Agile Manufacturing on Demand. How many of you knew that? Project Diamond is one of the initiatives that emerged in the wake of the pandemic to help our small manufacturers respond to the crisis. After its successful launch in 2020 and the distribution of 3D printers to 300 of our small manufacturers, we moved to phase 2 of the initiative last summer, and it's helping to keep manufacturing production right here in Oakland County. Our companies are using this technology to improve and broaden their product lines. And one of them is Becker Orthopedics in Troy, which is using its 3D printer to create more customized orthopedic devices for its customers. They've been able to create a special tool for the artificial ankle joints, which gives customers with complex chronic conditions more stability and mobility. Erica Geis, who is a quality assurance professional at Becker, she told us that the 3D printer allows workers to easily modify and change the parts in the ankle joint as the person grows from childhood through to their elderly years. In fact, she told us this: nobody likes to think of a kid who can't run and play with their friends, and this allows a child to be a kid. The company's been operating for more than 90 years, including 45 years in Troy. Troy, are you in the house? There we go. And this 3D technology is helping them to grow and meet the ever-changing needs of their customers. And now, the ripple effect of Project Diamond has become pretty astounding. With our partners at Automation Alley, represented here tonight, I believe, by CEO Tom Kelly, right? Raise your hand, Tom. Thank you. We opened the Digital Transformation Center at GeoFabrica in Auburn Hills in June to provide training to companies hoping to join this 3D printing network. So far, 148 companies have already signed up to do just that. And spurred on by the enthusiastic support of Governor Gretchen Whitmer, the program is now also working in Macomb County and Wayne County and is going statewide. Another 126 companies from every corner of Michigan are now in line for the 10-week training program. The other program I mentioned, Oakland 80, it's right there too, ensuring that our businesses have a pipeline of skilled and talented workers. But Oakland 80 is so much more than an outstanding workforce development initiative. It's our North Star. Not only because it preserves Oakland County's economic strength, but it empowers our residents to create a better future here. Tired of part-time hours in retail and want a job in healthcare? Want to get out of an office environment and work with your hands? Maybe you like numbers, but you don't have the degree to be an accountant. That's where our Oakland 80 Career Navigators come in. They help people map out a path to achieve their goals, providing the resources, the coaching, and support every step of the way. They also help residents navigate the challenges, whether it's financial barriers, confusing processes, or bureaucratic roadblocks, so that they can focus on what really matters, helping themselves and their families to succeed. We're committed to breaking down the obstacles that hold people back from gaining the education and training that they need to launch or pivot into fulfilling careers with higher wages. Now, for Bridget and Jordan Sellers of Royal Oak, our navigators helped them access the financial support they needed to get through the final classes at Oakland University. And just last month, Bridget started her first nursing job at Corewell Health, and Jordan is looking forward to the job promotion that could come his way because of his newly minted bachelor's degree in program management. And I should acknowledge what great partners we have in higher education. Leaders like Oakland University President Ora Peskovich, and Oakland Community College Chancellor Pete Provenzano. Thank you for your partnership. But here's the thing, it's not just about college. High-paying, in-demand careers in the skilled trades are within reach, with top-tier training available through union apprenticeships. Oakland 80 ensures residents have access to every opportunity, whether it's in the classroom, on the job site, or along any career path in between. And I'm proud to report our Oakland 80 efforts are paying off. 30 years ago? I haven't been in the job that long. 3 years ago, we started with 61% of our population having achieved a post-secondary degree or credential. Our goal, of course, given the name, our goal is to get that number to 80% by 2030. And when we get our annual report in the fall, I'm confident that we will have surpassed the 70% mark. That translates into more talent for our businesses and higher wages and better opportunities for our residents. But you know, we're also committed to supporting our K-12 schools and high school students. We know that high school can be challenging, and with so many distractions, it's not always easy to focus on the future. That's why, at the start of this school year, we placed 12 Oakland 80 coaches into high schools across the county to help students take their first steps towards a career. They're assisting, They're assisting with college and financial aid applications. They're leading campus tours and even helping students get pre-registered for classes and apprenticeships. More importantly, they're guiding students towards careers that not only align with their passions and skills, but also match the job opportunities that are in demand. I mean, think about your own life. What have you pursued with the most energy? Chances are it's something that you're passionate about. And that's exactly why our efforts with them help students to discover what excites them. And events like our successful My Career Quest and the 10th Annual Manufacturing Day bring careers to life through hands-on demonstrations, giving these students a real-world glimpse into their future possibilities. Let me show you why that makes a difference. Oops. Jennifer!
Technology, health sciences, and construction. One of the things we want to do is keep
Oh no. I've been doing this 6 years. That's the first time that happened. Jennifer.
Technology, health sciences, and construction. One of the things we want to do is keep our kids in the region. There's lots of great paying jobs right here in Metro Detroit. So if we can expose our young people to the jobs and the...
Yeah, well... All right. Let me just assure you. 8,000 high school kids at the show place in Novi, all with their hands, looking at careers. And here's the amazing part about it. We didn't say this in the video, but I didn't see a single high school kid on their phone. You know they were engaged if they weren't on their phone. We're also making those connections for our youngest residents in our Acorn to Oak program, providing micro grants to young people to pursue an idea, an activity, or a talent. And over the last 2 years, Acorn to Oak has helped deliver nearly 100 grants. And I love how passionate these kids are. Take Allie Kelko. She's a 12-year-old from Clarkston. She was diagnosed with celiac disease at the age of 4. And Allie used her Acorn to Oak grant to start a gluten-free baking company called the Blissful Baker. Then there's 18-year-old Abu Toure from Pontiac, who used his grant to help transform a pre-engineering internship into the creation of a National Society of Black Engineers junior chapter right here in Oakland County. We are committed to supporting our young people at their highest moments and at their most difficult. Obviously, COVID was tough on kids, but also Oakland County hasn't been immune from the terrible tragedies of gun violence in our schools and in our parks. We have stretched and stepped up to take care of the mental health of all our residents. I'm proud that one of the single largest investments we made with federal ARP dollars has been in the area of mental health. We've invested in the mental health services in our schools. We've supported the urgent needs of hospital emergency rooms. We've invested in community-based mental health providers. We've created co-responder programs for law enforcement. And we've strengthened the network of senior centers and activities for our older residents. So, since you guys like that one so much, let's consider the impact that our co-responder program is having. Steve Norris is the director at the Alliance of Coalitions in Troy. They run, great guy, and he runs a crisis response unit that partners with the deputies from the Oakland County Sheriff's Office. This team responds to substance abuse and mental health crisis calls, ensuring that people get the appropriate care they need, whether it's de-escalation, rehab, or a stay in the hospital. The team gets anywhere from 6 to 15 calls a day, and they continue monitoring these clients for months, in some cases years. And since the program has started, countless people have now gotten treatment options rather than jail. And as a bonus, the overdose death rate dropped by 31% last year. Steve told us that's 101 people who are still living and breathing today, and I would say that is an absolute success. And the mental health funding didn't just provide services to literally hundreds of thousands of Oakland County residents, but it also reinforced the foundation of our nonprofit network. We have amazing mental health nonprofits in this county, and by enabling these organizations to update equipment, expand their training programs, and increase their staff capacity, we've helped them become more resilient and better prepared to sustain their critical work. And as a result, these nonprofits are now stronger, more connected with us and each other, and better able to serve our residents for years to come. So, a critical intersection of mental health and economic independence is housing. It's often said that housing, whether rentals or homeownership, is the biggest cost most of us will have in our lives. Now, imagine the stress and uncertainty of being housing insecure. For the 40% of Oakland County residents who spend more than a third of their monthly income on rents or mortgages, that anxiety is a daily reality. So we had a choice to make as a county. We could be a wealthy county where life was really good for the well-off among us. Or we could be a wealthy county that used its prosperity to address the conditions of poverty and welcome more people into the middle class. So we got busy investing in a housing trust fund and a land bank. Because frankly, we had a lot of ground to make up if we're going to improve the availability of affordable housing in Oakland County. And let me just say that in just 1 year, we provided the gap financing and incentive funding for 9 housing projects across the county, which is going to create 649 new, affordable, accessible housing units in our county. Two of our most exciting projects are Walton Oaks and Auburn Oaks in Rochester Hills. For those of you who don't know, we broke ground in September in partnership with 3 Oaks Communities to provide neighborhoods that include housing for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. The family members who were there were just overjoyed, and that their loved ones were going to finally be able to experience a level of supported independence for the very first time in their lives. In fact, this is only the second such development in the state, and it will provide the residents of these neighborhoods the opportunity, the blessing really, to live in an inclusive community that understands and respects people of all abilities. Among the other projects we've invested in, 216 senior housing units at Oakland Woods, and the rehabilitation of a 50-unit apartment building that's a real architectural gem in Pontiac. $32 affordable homes in Royal Oak Township, and a 72-unit building at Wellspring in Southfield. We also know that getting a home or an apartment is just the first step, because if you've owned a home, you know that home ownership comes with a cost. Numerous little projects and investments, big and small, all the time, right? So that's why we invested in the Oakland Saves program to help people stay in their homes and save money through energy-efficient upgrades. Repairing a roof, upgrading a furnace, or replacing windows improves the quality of life for each of these families, but it also strengthens the community, improves the home values, and deepens our tax base, and it's great for the environment. So with that, I want to drill down on this question of when government decides to help individuals. We do it, of course, when you pay into the system, as is the case for things like Social Security or unemployment insurance, Medicare. I also believe that government has a role to play as what I would call the great equalizer. Not as thrilling as Denzel Washington or Queen Latifah, perhaps, but when the system gets off kilter and is not providing a level playing field for all its residents. And I believe our efforts around medical debt is a great example of this. Look, our health insurance system can be hard to navigate at best, and we know that for all too many people, one unexpected medical issue or bill could deal a huge financial blow. So in Oakland County, we've decided to protect 80,000 residents from this fate. With a $2 million investment, our partner organization, Undue Medical Debt, buys the medical debt from local health systems for pennies on the dollar. The first 14,000 residents received letters this last December, and it said, "We're wiping out more than $9 million of your debt." Can you imagine getting a letter like that? It's the kind of news that relieves the financial burdens for these folks. It rehabilitates their credit scores, and it gives people the freedom to move ahead with plans for their future, to do things like buy a house or a car or save for a child's education. For pennies on the dollar. That phrase sticks with me because, again, I believe a role for government is to use our leverage to help individuals where a little bit of investment can go a very long way. For instance, take our student loan relief program, for instance. There are dozens of student loan repayment programs, many to incentivize in-demand workers like teachers, healthcare professionals, and military service members. But again, what good are these programs if you don't know about them? And that's why in Oakland County, we're paying the $70 fee for residents to enroll in a TurboTax-like program run by a national technology startup called Savvy that scours local, state, federal, even private programs geared towards reducing student loan debt. And get this, so far, nearly 900 people burdened with more than $25 million in student loan debt have already signed up for this program. And they've reduced their debt an average of by more than $42,000 each. Folks, that's real money. That's $154 a month in their pockets. And, by the way, back in the local economy. And that is a government program that puts people over politics. Another one is our Nurse Family Partnership Program. One of the goals that we set when we did our strategic plan was to reduce the level of infant and maternal mortality that exists in our county. The program is simple, but the results have been wonderful. 6 public health nurses are assigned to first-time families. They help with nutrition, connecting with doctors, and coaching mothers and fathers on the care of their newborn. The nurses stay with the family throughout the pregnancy, through birth, and the first 2 years of their baby's life, providing a lifeline, a coach, even a friend. The program helps reduce early preterm deliveries and cases of pregnancy-induced hypertension that's so common in moms. And it's been found to significantly decrease emergency room visits for parents and their kids. And for Monique Whitaker, who is here with us tonight, this program literally was a lifesaver. So listen here for a little more of her story.
When WIC called me for my consultation, they asked me if I needed a nurse and would I like a nurse to come to my home throughout my pregnancy until the baby turned 2 years old. And I was at work screaming for joy in the locker room, yes, 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 yes. About a week later, I received a call from this lady named Kalia. So I broke down everything to her that was going on in my life. And I said, you're going to be involved in my life. You need to know what's going on and what is going to stress me out. Kalia is the reason why my gestational hypertension was caught in the first place, because every time I went to my OB, I only saw her once a month, so it's not likely that she'll catch my gestational hypertension. I saw Kalia every week. These people are not just people, they're nurses, and they walk you through every step of the way. They hold your hands and want to make sure that you are okay. Because of Kalia, I was able to put Kareem in daycare. And being in daycare meant I could work and provide a roof and stability for my child as well as myself. Having her along the way, providing information and knowledge, is not just beneficial, it's life-changing. I'm not alone. We are good. We are okay. He's continuing to thrive. He can count to 20 and he knows just 3. He knows a lot of words and continuous learning, jumping, climbing. He's always happy. My family is better and happier. Nurse-family partnership can make a difference in people's lives. I love you.
Monique, thanks for being here. And as you saw, Kareem is now a thriving, rambunctious 3-year-old. And Monique's family is just one of the success stories from our health department. But there were more than 200 families who enrolled last year in the program, and it's leading to healthy outcomes for moms and their babies. So when we talk and think about these programs, or even the role of government in doing them, it's important that we understand that, in my view anyway, this work is not a zero-sum game. One person's gain is not balanced out by another person's loss. And that is how I feel about diversity, equity, and inclusion. I'm proud of the county's effort to create a welcoming county, a diverse workforce, and to address the historic biases and stereotypes in all that we do. And it's also why I believe so strongly that our economy, our culture, and our population benefit from immigration. In fact, the only reason the population of Michigan or Oakland County grew in the last decade was the immigrants that chose to live here. And these new residents are business owners. They're skilled workers like engineers and advanced technology experts. They're fueling our growth. And they're our neighbors and our friends. They help make our communities more vibrant and successful. And as we look towards a bright future for Oakland County, I have to offer a glimpse of what's ahead for one of our central cities, the historic downtown of Pontiac. Check it out. There's one downtown that has not seen the love and the investment that it deserves over the last several decades. And that is one of our most important downtowns because it's our county seat. for the redevelopment of downtown Pontiac that many of us remember from our youth. I am bullish on Pontiac, so stay tuned because the redevelopment project will really start to take shape this year. So keep your eyes open. So let me just say this. I believe fundamentally that there exists for all of us a common thread. It's what binds us together from one generation to the next, from one group to the next, from one place in the world to the next. We do well to look for it, to hold on to it, to cherish it, and respect each other for being a part of our shared humanity. It's a thread that's woven with love and understanding and the recognition that, despite our differences, we're all a part of something greater than ourselves. This thread carries the stories of those who came before us, the hopes of those who walk beside us, and the dreams of those yet to come. I'm grateful that you've been here this evening. As you leave, I hope you'll be inspired to share our story, to tell people about this place just north of Detroit, where leadership is about service and not politics. Where challenges are met with innovation and not hyperbole. Where disruption leads to progress and not division. Where we walk this path together, knowing that our strength comes from our unity, and where we don't need to make Oakland County great again because we've always been great, and together we can do even more. So thank you very much. Thank you for being here, and God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
We thank you for tuning in to our live coverage of Oakland County Executive David Coulter's 2025 Oakland County State of the County on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. I'm Tyler Keefe. We hope you've enjoyed this coverage, and stick with us throughout the rest of the week for our extended coverage of the 2025 State of the County with some analysis and some thoughts from people in the community on Thursday's edition of The Splash Live. Plus, Oakland County Executive David Coulter scheduled to join us later on this week for even more insight on how what he spoke about tonight impacts greater West Bloomfield specifically. So stay tuned. Make sure you're following us across our social media, Facebook at Civic Center TV 15, as well as on YouTube, on X, and on Instagram at Civic Center TV. While you're tuning in right now, we have a QR code up on your screen as we speak. If you scan that, that'll take you to a link that has links to each and every one of our social media. So you don't have to remember those social media handles. You can just click through, follow, like, subscribe, and always have us with you from Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM in your pocket and on your devices, so you never lose track of what's going on in the greater West Bloomfield area. For our entire team at Civic Center TV, I'm Tyler Keefe. Thanks for tuning in.